I have one more poem for you guys. Thank you so much for being, I think we have an audience of energy now, yeah? I think we do. So, yeah, is that a yeah? Okay, word. So I think everybody, my hope is that everybody after me, whatever I put in can be sustained throughout the show for every young person that is brave enough to touch this microphone, because it's very, very difficult. This last poem is a poem that I wrote. It is not my experience, and I want to be very transparent about that. It's very important for me to say that. This poem was written, had the honor of meeting about 12 very powerful and determined young people in Philadelphia as part of a group called Juntos. Juntos is Philadelphia's version of working for immigration reform. It's led by young people, in particular, undocumented youth. And so I got the opportunity and the privilege, really, of speaking to them and having them just open up and trust me and share their stories. Now, for me as a Puerto Rican woman, it is not my experience, but for me as a Latina woman, it is all of our experiences, and I think all of our responsibility to speak. And so my hope is to use my platform as a way to shed light on this issue, and hopefully we have more poems and more poems and more poems, because I think we need to keep talking about it. I think spoken word is important in these instances because it takes things that people treat as theory and as politic, and it makes it personal. It makes it your mom, your father, your uncle, your tia, tu abuela. It makes it us. And that's what I tried to do in this poem. And so this story is really 12 stories that I pushed together to make one story. Does that make sense? So every section of the story is probably from some other young person, but I kind of made it cohesive in one poem. So this is called Borders, and thank y'all for having me and being a wonderful audience. I appreciate y'all. See, it starts before she gets here, before the stairs tell her she's alien to a country that knows her great-grandfather's Chicano hands all too well. His fingerprints still echo underneath railroad tracks and cotton fields from Texas to California, where bent knees and bent backs once pushed work for more money than he was used to, but less than he deserved. For Ana Maria, it begins before the border. She walks with her two uncles and abuela through the desert for 1 week with nothing more than a few gallons of water and a prayer tucked into their pockets, hoping both will last them long enough. The sun is an unforgiving God, but any God is worth having right now. The wind pushing at their backs is the grunt of gunshots from drug cartels and the desperation of a job to employ their stomachs. Both have been uninvited guests at their doorstep. So they step. Ana Maria's small hand clutches the bottom of her abuela's dress. Her mother waits for her on the other side, hoping that her face still sings of home like it used to. Another step. She's too young to know what border means. She thinks that people are just family members who haven't met yet. After her family arrives, she will learn that there are some borders you can't cross by foot. Ana Maria is now 10 years old. She's learned enough English to translate for her parents, but says that her thick accent is still a problem she tries to fix by leaving in her locker. When the teacher calls on her to read, she tries to speak proper, like proper has a sound. She pushes her tongue down so it doesn't roll her R's, but she trips on the flatness of the syllables that bounce. With too much salsa, she tries to rattle out the kinks in her speech, but her tongue is a stubborn dancer. The two boys behind her don't know how to do long division, but they know what a wetback is. And Ana Maria is sitting there with her long hair, and they don't know how they know, but they know how to treat difference when they smell it. So they say things like, yo, go back to your country, as if their Irish ancestors never walked through Ellis Island. Ana Maria is now 16. Her father works 18-hour days as a dishwasher. Her mother cleans houses she'll never get to live in so that Ana Maria can sit in a college classroom and say, I am here. But her guidance counselor says you can't get financial aid or the in-state tuition rate because of her status. Ana wonders if her family ever crossed the border or if they're just stuck inside another one, aggravating it like a sore. Her guidance counselor stands in front of her with a mouth full of fences. There are some borders you can't cross by foot, she says. But borders, I say, that can only be crossed by stubborn backbones. So when they ask you for your papers, show them your skin. Wear your tongue like a cape, throw up your fist like a secret you can't keep any longer. See, they can't keep you any longer, afraid that you can't ever afford to drive a dream. So when they come for you, tell them in the language that you know best, that you ain't scared no more.